Okay, this is part 2 in the Basics to Sony Vegas series. In this video, we are going to be talking about customization of the interface. In the last video, we talked about the interface and what the general layout of Vegas is and where your major areas are in Sony Vegas. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and watch that first. It's not necessarily required, but I'm going to be referring to terms that we talked about in the previous video in this video. Now, when you create your layout, first off, know how you want your layout. Do you want your timeline on the top and your stuff on the bottom? That's a cool way. Now, I'm going to say this right now. This layout that I have currently on my screen is the default layout for Sony Vegas Pro 8 and 9. Anything before your default layout is exactly reverse, and actually you cannot switch your timeline. Your timeline cannot go to the top, or your timeline's on your. We'll look at what I'm about to change mine to. You can't make yours look like this in 5, 6, 7. You cannot make it look like this. I've never used 5, 6, or 7. But I do know that it's pretty much locked in like what I'm about to do. So, to change your orientation if you have 8 or 9, all you do is you go to Options, Preferences, go up here to Display, and right here, Display Timeline at bottom of main window. If you go and uncheck that, and you click Apply, and okay, now it's exactly like it is in 5, 6, 7. It was like this for a few versions. I actually prefer it like this, but I also like the other way too. It makes it a little easier in your editing if you have your timeline up on the top and your stuff down here at the bottom. But if you like your timeline on the bottom, make sure you have 8 or 9, because that will be your default. Let's say I wanted to add my trimmer window over here. Now my trimmer window went ahead and docked in my dockable windows. How do I undock it? Well, you see these 6 little dots right here? If I click those and I drag on it, it will undock from the dockable windows. And if I click and drag it right into my video preview, now my preview is a docked window, and I have tabs over here. But I don't want my trimmer. I actually want my edit details. I'm going to undock it. I'm going to dock it right in the window, and I can remove the trimmer, and I can move edit details. Now, this is how you save a layout. Let's say I want to keep this layout. This is the perfect layout for me, and I want to keep it. If you go to View, Windows Layouts, and click Save Layout As, I'm going to call this Edit Details. Now, let me talk about this Windows layout. If you go under Windows Layouts, you can see I've got a couple that I've created. But I've also got one that says Load Default Layout. This is nice if you ever have to go back to the default layout. Or I can go to a 2-panel layout. I can go to a timeline on the top. And these are layouts I've pre-made. Trimmer Preview. And the layout I prefer is this one. So that is a really quick video on how to customize the interface. The entire interface is customizable. You can even undock the time code. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. In the next video, we are going to talk about customized keyboard shortcuts. And we're going to talk about how you can actually reconfigure the map. So, like, if I brought in a clip, let's bring in something just quick here. And I wanted to open up a vent pan crop. All I have to do is click on the clip, Control-Shift-C. That's not a pre-made keyboard shortcut, but we'll teach you how to make it in the next video. So I will see you next week, or if this video is really, really old, it should already be up. So I'll see you in a few minutes or next week.